Let's just have a quick look at this because it's a planar thicknesser here, and while I was doing a job last week, the brake jammed on. It's not an uncommon problem. Woodworking machinery is very fast, and it's quite common to find electromagnetic brakes at the back of the motor, and this one's got one, and I have done it. And I had it done the first time that it jammed up, and the next time I did it myself, and this time I've done it again. So here's the motor down here, which is a 3 horsepower single phase motor, and it sits in that part of the cabinet down there. This end piece here is the brake, and they tend to stick after a while, and you get a bit of gunge in them, and there's a gap underneath the fan there, and into that gap we need to insert a feeler gauge there, like that, and that's 0.25, a quarter of a mil, and so it's not a very big gap, but it does need to be there. Now, I think that motor will rotate underneath. They're sitting on its pulley down at the other end, but that's rotating okay, and I suspect it'll be all right now. But it has a cover over the end of it. That's the adjustment screw at the end, so actually you can get to it without removing the fan cover, but you probably will have to remove the fan cover to unlock it. Now they vary, these things. They're not all the same, and there are different ways. A lot of them have 3 screws on them that you adjust, and so don't think that you're necessarily going to find one like that. However, it is a job that's within the capability of the average owner, and it's expensive to call people out to machines, so sometimes there's just stuff that you've got to do yourself. I might have a look at changing the knives on this cutter block as well. This is a cutter block up the top here, which I'm rotating now, and so you can't see the cutter block because it's hidden by the mechanism which supports the fence, and the rest of those chains down there are the feed rollers for the thicknesser part of the machine. So what happens actually is the other end of the motor there, which will be about there, runs up and powers the cutter block here. And then when you engage the rollers, this wheel here gets pulled up by a lever, and it just runs on the shaft behind this pulley. So it's a friction drive. In other words, if it jams up, no damage is done. You're not going to. There's no question of it doing that. And actually, on this particular machine, it's not a brilliant power feed. You often have to put a little bit of weight behind the timber to help it on its way. And on this machine, the thickness operating from that end and moving the timber through there to the end of the table, whereas the jointer part of the machine is operating from this end and pushing it through the over the table in that direction. Sorry about that. So just to show you, that's the thicknesser table there, which is quite a nice long one on this machine. It's made of cast iron and it's ribbed like the top table, and actually that's quite nice because it gives quite a smooth feed to the timber. The fence is put completely off the table, as it's completely covering the table, and I just got that out the way so that part of the fence mechanism isn't hanging over here, and every time you get up off your knees you hit your head on it, so it needs to be put out of the way. It's a belt drive machine there, and it has, like most woodworking machinery, quite fast speed. And on this machine there are 4 knives in the cutter block. So in order to change them, you could change them, I suppose, by taking the belts off, but basically you just operate the brake. So the on-off switch, which is there, has 3 positions on it, and the central one is off, and then there's a rotating one, and then if you turn that back to the right and then to the right again, that operates puts the brake on, and you can move the cutter block freely. There are 4 knives on that, and they're reversible, so you don't have to. I've got several sets of them actually, and it's probably about time I change them, but you send them off to be resharpened. You don't throw them away. There are lots of different kinds of I think they're called terser blades, aren't they now, and cutter blocks for the alternative types, where you can just replace a section of it, and you get 4 surfaces on the little ones, so you can keep turning them around 4 times, but then after that I think you've got to throw them away and get another set. These last surprisingly long time, and gives a pretty smooth finish. The only downside of the machine, really, apart from not having a brilliant feed roller system, is that the top table's quite short. So if you're using that to square up boards or whatever, I think some people would say, "Oh, that's not long enough," But I'd put 18-foot boards over it without any problem. But you do need a bit of support at either end, really. Anyway, there we are. I just showing you that because it's not an uncommon thing to come across, and I'm going to get it back together now and try it out, but I won't bore you with that procedure. Okay.